Hello and welcome to The Performance. I'm Yachts Radcliffe, founder of Musée. First, thank you for joining us and for your ticket contribution, without which this would not be possible. Your generosity and that of our entire community has been unprecedented and inspiring. Artists are now earning vastly more with Musée than anywhere else, and artist bills are being paid. And extraordinary performances like this are possible. So thank you for that support, and I hope you'll come back for many more performances with us. Finally, in case this is your first time, you'll find that we do things much differently than anywhere else. First of all, all of the performances on Musée are high fidelity experiences. We work with world-class sound engineers, take the time to really create an extraordinary audio experience. So make sure you're listening with your best speakers or headphones and really enjoy that audio experience. Next, if you look above me, you'll see 3 buttons, the first of which is View in HD. This is so you can watch in your television or your computer or any mobile device. It's just what we all know and have expected during this time. Next, you'll see the View in 360 degrees. We provide all the technology and equipment and expertise in order to broadcast at the same time as the HD in 360 degrees in virtual reality. And we do this to create an immersive, engaging experience for everyone. We actually put you right there into the middle of the performance. So if you're watching on your computer, you can actually scroll around and see everything. If you watch on your phone, it's completely dynamic. And then if you look above me, you also see the view in VR headset. So if you have one of these, it is a completely immersive experience, which is something unlike anything in 2D. So finally, I'd like you to take a look in the bottom right of your video. You'll see a gear icon, and if you click that, you'll be able to see the resolution. We broadcast everything in full 4K, so I want you to make sure that you're watching it in the highest resolution possible. This is particularly important for the 360 degrees, and especially so if you're watching in your VR headset. So I'll be in the control room with the rest of our team. If you need any help or assistance, please don't hesitate to email or call us. And without further ado, please enjoy the performance.
Hello and welcome to St. John's in the Village and this web-streamed concert. My name is Father Graham Napier. I'm the rector of St. John's and the overall curator of our art series here in the heart of the West Village. Not only do we include music as part of our arts programme, but also visual arts in our art gallery, Revelation Gallery, and also in our theatre for the performing arts with our resident theatre company, Rattlestick Theatre. We have enjoyed a rich programme of concerts over a number of years here at St. John's, some 4 or 5 a week until the time of the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, we were careful to invest in high-quality audiovisual equipment and also to partner with Musée and with Denise Marsha Productions in gathering together the equipment and the personnel we needed to produce high-quality live streaming for artists who still wish to perform and to give that pleasure of performance to their audiences. Our concerts here range from early music through Baroque, classical and romantic music, 20th century art music and contemporary music, and also folk and jazz and many other genres of music. It's still a rich programme here at St. John's in the Village. Do note that all our concerts, or most of our concerts, are available not only at the time of their premiere, but also at any time thereafter. And our archive of previous live-streamed concerts is available on our website. That's stjvny.org. Our website, stjvny.org. And there you will find all the information, not only for music, but also the performing arts and visual arts, and of course, our worship here at St. John's in the Village. Please enjoy this concert.
Good evening, and I want to thank you very much for joining us this evening with my good friends, all the members of the North-South Chamber Orchestra. My name is Max Lifshitz, and I'll be your host this evening. And it's a great pleasure to be here. It's a kind of a bittersweet moment because it's been almost a year and a half since we did our last program and our last concert live. And this is actually our first and last concert of this current season. So we are playing only once. In fact, some of the music that we're doing tonight, we were supposed to do a year ago, June 2020. So we have 4 works that reflect the turmoil and the, if you want, uncertainty of our time, where we have just all lived through this pause. We went in New York on pause, and all the pandemic hassles that we've had, all the loneliness, and but we're fortunately all here. And the first piece we're going to play is by a composer who lives in Northern California now, Douglas Ovens. And he sent me this piece actually last year in June, at the end of June of 2020, because it was written right after the George Floyd incident in Minneapolis. And the piece is called Song for Us, or Song for the US, because it's spelled in capital letters, in memoriam George Floyd. And the composer writes that it was written very quickly after he learned of the events in Minneapolis, and it's dedicated to all the victims of racism and violence. So the first piece we're going to play is Song for Us in memoriam George Floyd by Douglas Ovens. Again, that was Douglas Owens' song for us in memoriam of George Floyd. The next work is by a composer who used to live in New York City, but now she resides upstate in Rensselaer County, Rain Worthington. And again, she wrote this piece also last year during the pandemic, during the lockdown, and she called it Within Deep Currents. And I'm going to read a little bit of her program note. And she says that this work aims to convey feelings the composer experienced during this epic time. The music depicts a sense of immersion within a flow of time and a feeling of being slowly pulled along by underlying currents, as dynamic forces exert their influences through an interplay of diverse energies. So again, Rain Worthington's Within Deep Currents. Again, this was Within Deep Currents by Rain Worthington. Well, the next work is by a composer who now resides in Philadelphia, Thomas Whitman, and just to date myself, and hopefully he doesn't mind, in the very first season of North-South, back in 1980, long time ago, maybe I should retire soon. I played a piece of Tom for piano, actually, one of the first concerts that North-South performed. We have continued our relationship over the years. And we were going to celebrate 40 years. I asked Tom if he would be willing to write a new piece for us, and he did. But again, we were supposed to perform it last June, so finally we got a chance to do it. And this piece also deals with a rather controversial subject these days, which is immigration. And it's called Immigrant Portraits, and I think it fits us very well, not only since I'm an immigrant from a country to the south. We have people here from Venezuela, from Japan, Greece, maybe I'm forgetting some other countries, Argentina. So it's a very rather mixed group that we have here with the North-South people, and so I think that fits our character very well, I think our makeup. So the piece is in 4 movements, and I will tell you the title of each movement and maybe say something about each movement. The first one is called Departure, and it's about a young couple who marries, newly married, and embarks on in those days, a voyage across the Atlantic, a trip that you never return to your home country, leaving Wales in 1858, and you will hear a very beautiful tune performed by our violist, Yumi Oshima, a quote from, I think it's a Welsh tune. The second movement is closer to us. It's called At Home in the Bronx. And I guess it's a Jewish couple from Eastern Europe who now resides in the Bronx, and they are raising their family in New York City. And the husband is dreaming of building a big business empire, and the wife is a model of quiet strength. And again, you will hear this contrast between this, if you want, urban music, this rhythmic stuff, and this very beautiful tune. And at the end, there is a quote of America the Beautiful. I think you will recognize it at the very end of the movement. The next movement is called Fiesta, and it's about a Jewish boy growing up in Mexico. I'm not so sure who they were talking about. But And it's about this Jewish boy from Mexico coming to New York City. And Thomas Whitman actually did me the great honor of quoting from one of my pieces, piece for flute and piano, my first, The Yellow Ribbons. And the last movement is called Solitary, and it's kind of a desolate movement. And it's about the York County immigration prison, where an immigrant has been, if you want, criminalized, has been put in prison. And even though her kids were born in this country and she's separated from her family. And you would hear that in a way when the viola again, Yumi will try to create the feeling of being off stage. She will move to the back and play a tune, and we are kind of against her, or she's against us. We are the people in the prison, and the viola is kind of symbolizing the freedom, I guess, that this person is searching for. And in many ways, the strings are asked to play all kinds of different effects on the instruments, to play percussion effects on them, and so you would hear kind of the texture of the music kind of disappears into this kind of percussive section. So again, Immigrant Portraits by Tom Whitman, a piece that was finished actually in 2020. Again, this was Immigrant Portraits by Tom Whitman, Ford Movement. So we come to the last piece in the program, and it's a piece of mine that I wrote a few years ago called Brightness Aloft. And I thought the title of the piece and the mood of the piece would be also appropriate for this program. You know why Victor is doing that in a moment? Because there is a certain hope, if you want, in the piece, brightness coming out of darkness. Well, this is really our last piece, and I would like to, first of all, thank all the people that made this program possible, the people here at this beautiful jewel of a church here on the West Village, St. John's of the village. I want to thank also Martin Sweeney for running all the technical wizardry that he has to do to get all this going on the web. And I also want to thank every member of the group, and I would like to mention them by name since you don't have a program. Arthur Muller, who is taking the role of concertmaster today, this evening. Francisco Salazar, Gabriela Rengel, Sulamit Gorky. And then we have Mioi Takeda and Lynn Bechtold and Leonardo Suarez Paz, and also Adriana Molelo, who is all the way in the back there. We do hear you. And Catherine Grungor. And also, of course, our two violists, Yumi Oshima and Laura Sachs, and our cellist, Robert LaRue and Kate Dillingham. And Victor Kulafides, who is playing the bass in my piece. And I have been playing the bass, of course, in all the pieces. Victor and I share something that we played. We were involved in the first North-South Consonant concert back in September of 1980. That's when I think I met you actually doing I think with the Brooklyn Philharmonic, I think it was, and then we did that concert North-South. And the reason Victor had to make a little bit of noise and move the chairs because in this piece of mine, the double bass is very important, as is everybody else, but it's what we call a walking bass in music theory, but literally he's going to be walking over because there is no time for him to turn pages, so he has to carry the bass all, as you can see, he has like 5 chairs there with all these pages of music. So, without further ado, we are going to play Brightness Aloft to finish this program. Again, I want to thank everyone for participating in this program, and I want to wish everybody a great summer, and stay healthy, and hopefully we can all get together soon and enjoy again live music. Thank you very much.